Hmm.
Yeah, so as I say, back in the 30s, there was a guy called Raman, and he started to
Yeah.
experiment with something called the inelasticity of the scattering of light.
Mm.
Basically, because he was fascinated by the way the light reflected off water, and he started to understand that, our perception of it was to do with the way that the light was dispersed across the water. It wasn't the actual water itself. And then very briefly, that led to him developing a spectroscopy, which became the Raman spectroscopy.
Okay. Similar to mass
Yeah,
spec.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that was actually a Nobel Prize for physics. He got that.
Oh, excellent.
And then moving fast forward, moving towards, sort of like coming then into the sort of 60s and 70s, the National Institute of Health in the US started to experiment with this spectroscopy because they were very interested in to see if there was a connection with age-related macular deficiency.
Mm.
And they started to be able to measure the age-related macular deficiency with the Raman spectroscopy. Okay.
Excellent.
At that time, the machine was the size of a room.
Yeah.
So it's miniaturized a little bit since then. And then they started to understand that there was a correlation between the way that the light scattered on the lens of the eye and that it could be measured with this particular laser. Again, non without pain and without in being
Yeah.
in, which was obviously for eyes like pretty important. And then the company New Skin and Pharmanex, which is the health and well-being and science and tech side of things, started to take an interest in this particular technology because they were looking for something that could measure the effectiveness of their supplements.
Okay.
Because say what you can't measure it isn't real. I mean,
No.
otherwise just
No.
it's a placebo effect or hearsay or speculative. That there's no real proof, right?
Yeah.
And the guy who was particularly interested in this was Dr. Joseph Chang because he came from a medical background. He'd done, he was part of a team that developed the heart transplant,
Mm.
an organ transplant technology and stuff. But he was then suddenly realized he was much more interested in preventative rather than curative. And he started up his company in 1995 called Pharmanex. It was the 40, 45, $50 million, fundraiser. It'd never been done before on the supplementation side, but he felt that with his medical background that he could really, really make a difference to people's health
Yeah.
front, getting ahead of it instead of waiting for something to go wrong and then trying to fix it, right?
Mm.
And I love that philosophy. And I was just like, preventative is always better than curative, in
Yes, absolutely.
any kind of format, right? And then they started to, then they were bought out as a parent company by New Skin, but he went voluntarily because he was looking for a very robust financial partner that would continue to support his goals in terms of technology, research, science, innovation. Whereas he'd been approached by a lot of big companies, it's kind of like the big pharma companies and things, but they wanted to just take over all his research. And he was like, no, I'm not doing that.
No. No.
So then with the capital and the financial power of New Skin and the innovative technology of Joseph Chang, who is still the chief scientific officer at Pharmanex, here we are in 2025.
Mm.
It looks younger than he did in 1980. I mean, it's just like, how? But anyway,
Oh.
that's the story. And he's amazing guy, full of personality, but obviously, he's got a forehead about that high. So
Uh-huh.
you know and then they started to make the correlation that the spectroscopy also measured um stable carotenoids in the skin,
Mm.
and carotenoids are the most stable indicator, frontline indicator for internal antioxidant protection in the body. Okay.
Okay.
And so the carotenoid health and supplementation industry at the moment stands at about $10 billion, it's really something that they're pushing forward right now because they
Mm.
understand the correlation. Otherwise, to get an antioxidant reading, you need to have a blood test, a urine sample, or a DNA test. So all very invasive, right?
Yes.
And then one day when they were looking at this technology to see how it could work and if it was going to be measurable, they somebody came along and they measured his on the palm of his hand, um, the carotenoid levels in his hand, and it came up as a very high reading. And they were like, well, that's not right. They did it again. Bearing in mind, still the machine was the size of a,
Yeah.
right? It took them like 3 hours to do each test. It was very laborious. And then suddenly they said, well, what are you doing that's any different? And he said, well, I'm taking these. And he whipped out this bag of supplements, right? And they were
Yeah.
like, no way. So they suddenly made the correlation between they were able to quantify the carotenoids in the skin before and after taking a course of supplementation.
Yeah.
The first time ever that they could actually see that these products were
So
working.
it's, yeah. Yeah.
Not only that, the company then went the extra mile. They bought the technology, patented the technology. They also then were able to miniaturize the technology into the first scanner, which was brought to life, if my memory serves me right, around about 1998. It also received, multiple awards all over the world for this amazing miniaturized version of the original machine by Raman.
Yeah.
And not only that, they went
Mm.
the extra mile and they were showing that if people got scanned and they took their supplementation for 3 months and didn't get a higher score, they'd offer a money back guarantee.
Oh,
So they
excellent.
became the only company in the world that would offer money back guarantee on
Yeah.
nutrition supplements. All right. And
Mm.
then things started to evolve. Pharmanex took all its supplementation off the 38,000 points of sale in America. They started to distribute them through a person-to-person network rather than a B2B.
Mm.
And they did more sales in 3 months than they'd done previously in an entire year. Because suddenly you had very well-trained and knowledgeable people going out into the field to explain about the scanner and the benefits of the supplementation and what carotenoids meant in the skin. So
Yes.
carotenoids stay stable for 3 to 4 weeks in the skin. Whereas normal antioxidants like vitamin C and that kind of thing, very unstable. As soon as they hit the body, they're gone pretty much. That's why I had to
Yeah.
keep filling them up for, lemon on an apple kind of thing, so
Yeah.
2 hours later it's brown again, and I'll stick more lemon on, right? But carotenoids are very, very stable molecules that stay in the skin. And then on the back of that, they then started to see this huge opportunity, not just to work with individuals, but also people who are passionate about their well-being, whether that be health, fitness, well-being therapists,
Oh,
health
settings.
professionals,
Yeah.
all over the world, who really, really wanted to give an incredible service to their clients, but something that was measurable so that they could recommend in confidence, like take these supplements,
Mm.
if they don't work, you get your money back, right? Worst case scenario, you'll be healthier. And so, of course, then, of course, it became very competitive, just like who's going to get the highest score and all the rest of it. So it was
Yeah.
really fun. They took this huge machine that took initially 45 minutes to heat up. My God. And it had to be in a certain temperature. If it go too high or too low, it would break down. I mean, it was clunky, but the vision was there to create something that would impact the world. That was
Yes.
really as big as it was. Then they improved it with the second version, which is the one I got in 2011. I read
Yeah.
about this incredible spectroscopy. I read something called the KD report. Happy to send it over to you, which is
Yeah.
all it's quite a long scientific document. And I don't have a science background, but this captured my imagination beyond
Yeah.
words. Just a question of the philosophy being doing well whilst doing good.
Yes.
Okay, and that is real. We want a purpose-driven business, but at the same time, we want to do well for ourselves in that purpose-driven business,
Mm.
right? So it aligned with values and making a difference, whilst at the same time being able to provide well for my family and do really well financially.
Mm.
So then the S2 came out and it was much more efficient, but it was still clunky. I had to drag around a great big suitcase, and the
Yeah.
scan still took. I think the scan took 2 minutes before it was about 10 or 15. I can't remember what. And then the S3 came out, which is a kind of a toaster size device,
Yeah.
around about 5-6 years ago. And that immediately was better. We had an app that we would correlate the score to, so it worked with Wi-Fi, and we were able to do the test in 30 seconds. Same principles, same technology,
Mm.
spectroscopy. Now, the only problem with that is that it's a machine that's worth about $5,000-6,000. That the operator doesn't have to pay that, but they still have to do a certain amount of it's still static. It still needs it's not a thing somebody's ever going to have individually. It
It's
will
not
be
mobile. Yeah.
clinics and spas and
Yeah.
and health fairs and those kind of things, right?
Yeah.
So in the UK, I believe, if my memory serves me right, we've probably got about 30 scanners in the entire country. So it's not that many.
Wow. Wow.
But then they came up with the idea that they have scanned 28 million people since the beginning of the scanner, right?
Mm.
So they took this data of the 28 million people. They looked at all the different kinds of data. They took the technology of the spectroscopy and they fed it into an AI algorithm and came up with this idea of being able to reduce that down to the size into a machine the size of a hockey puck that was very inexpensive that people could have for their own personal readings.
Wow.
Right. I mean, that is a very brief overview,
Yeah.
and that we still don't have all the really, really in-depth science, but we have enough to be able to talk about it. So, of course, there's a business plan behind it, Josephine. You know, it's not
Yeah.
just something we're just going to launch it out into the market. It's a couple of $100 million of investment into this technology, and it's a very, very serious launch for us. So as far as you are concerned, how would that, first of all, do you like the story behind it? Is this
I
something?
love it.
Yeah, yeah, yes,
Yes.
it's amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
So from a business aspect,
Yeah.
there is a pre-launch strategy of how we start building already with what we've got, i.e. the toaster-sized biophotonic scanner. But
Mm.
through that, we are showing people the technology already, and then we are able to help them get into the position where they will pre-qualify for the first round of prisms that are going to be launched at the end of the year.
Yes.
There's going to be a smallish number launched around about October, November time. So everybody wants one, of course.
Yes.
And then the full launch won't be until around about Q2 next year. So we really want to get ahead of the curve and really get hold of those early launch ones.
Yeah.
So when we work with this company, it's very simple. It's completely free to get started.
Mm.
You get access to two different apps, one for the skin and one for business. There's no obligatory ongoing costs at all. All the resources and training are given for free. Okay. The only you will also have your own individualized roadmap of training according to what you would like to do with it. So what I mean by that is the next step, okay, is for you to for me to explain a little bit about the structure of the sales performance plan to see if this is something that could work for you.
Okay.
Some people will start this and they just want to make a few sales and make a few extra £100 a month to do it from time to time. It's kind of like affiliate marketing or dropship, if you like.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a really fun way to do things. We have a drop shipping feature. We can send affiliate links. It's all free to set up. You just download it and bish bash bosh, it's kind of done, right?
Yeah.
It's never going to be tens of thousands of pounds, but it's an additional income, and who doesn't want additional income these days?
Yeah.
Then there's another level which goes to creating a kind of like a solid and dependable income of anything from 500 to it can be up to tens of thousands of pounds a month, which is a long-term project. Obviously, it's not a get rich quick that just kind of overnight. And that's called our partner program. Again, it's completely free. All the resources are there, and we teach people. So say, for example, if you said to me, look, Bridget, I'd love to shoot for my first income goal of say £2,000 a month, right? We would devise a roadmap of how to get you from where you are to where you want to be as a first income goal, say 2,500, whatever's going to make a difference for you. It will then depend on how many hours a day you have available, happily.
Yeah.
We don't want anybody to be overwhelmed or have too much going on, right? So we will then tailor make a roadmap into the hours that you have available according to the money that you want to make. And we have a system. Okay, so we have a very, very specific, which is great for scientists as well, because they like tick boxes. And so we have a systems, like we have the goal, so let's say, for example, £2,000 a month. And then we're going to start building a network of distribution. Okay. We need to start doing that now because we need to be in a position when the Prysm actually comes out, you know, the new baby after the current biophotonics, where we're in a position to be able to be at the top of the list to qualify to get one in advance. And that's what my job comes in. And we basically handhold and lock arms together, and I show you how to build those networks of distribution. Okay. The only thing we recommend is two things: is that we have an app called Vera, which is like it's an application where you can do a skin analysis. It's powered by AI. The technology is amazing, and it's got lots of other features as well. So we recommend you do that, and then try a couple of the products. That's it. If you're interested in the health and well-being side, we have 4 or 5. We have around about 250 products in the portfolio. Around about 35% of them of, you know, health and wellness ones, and the other are skincare. Whatever your center of interest is, and then we just work with that. We have bestsellers like our Beauty Focus Collagen Plus, which is absolutely superb. We have an amazing weight management system. We have wonderful supplementation, whether that be something as broad as our multivitamin, which has the money back guarantee from the scanner, which is called Life Pack. So that will then for us to work together to find something that suits you, you know, to just try at least for 3 months, so that you can get a feel and also you can have a testimony of how your score has increased. That's also, the collagen is the same. It comes with a money back guarantee. So that's basically how it works. So first step is you get to sign up with what we call an affiliate account. I just literally send you a link, and you sign up. It's name, email address, phone number. That's it. You know, you're done. Then to download the app and do the skin consultation. And once you've done that, then we have another quick call to, if you've had a look at the website, and I'll send you some things on the scanner and the nutritional supplements, if that's what you're more interested in right now, for you to have a look at. And then we get together so we can, you know, we can discuss, you know, what you think is you're most comfortable with in trying first, okay, and having your own products. Okay.
Sounds interesting. I think what sort of drawed me more than anything, I've just recently re-registered, so I'm HPC registered as well. Re-registered as a biomedical scientist in case I have to get involved in any sort of health transformation projects, which involves me being in the hospital. So what are the main clients? Are they like hospital clients, or would you say
No, it's not a medical device. What we tend to work with health and fitness professionals. So they can be holistic therapists. They can be, actually, we work with a lot of people in the aesthetics industry who are very, very interested in offering an inside-outside approach to beauty. Can be nutritionalists. They can be chiropractors, they can be physiotherapists, they can be kinesiologists, you know, those people. Because actually, unlike in America, anybody who is working through a medical system like the NHS, they don't have the right to actually have a business alongside.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the UK.
That's where that's where the conflict comes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, listen.
Yeah.
My recommendation is, all right, before you do anything, I'll send you a link to the app.
Yes, please.
It's free to download. You just do your own and have a play with the technology.
Yeah.
And I'll then send you over a copy of the Louis KD report, which will be an interesting read for you, if nothing else. And then we take it from there.
Okay, that'd be great.
All right. And if you're interested, we're going to have the biophotonic scanner on display at my event at Menagerie on the 9th of April, if you'd like to come along and have a look at that.
Okay. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I'll send you the invite for that.
Have a look. Yeah.
And it's going to be a really nice, you know, like networking and be playing with the devices and the apps and things, and there's be a bit of a social afterwards.
Lovely.
I've already got, I think, I don't know, 15 people coming or something.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put that on my diary, 9th of April, Wednesday.
Yes, it's
Look,
Wednesday, the 9th of April, 5:30 to 7:30.
okay.
Yeah, so we're doing early evening. After
Look.
that, at my bedtime. What actually, what I wouldn't mind, yeah, I'll just email you.
Yeah,
So let me just write. So I'm going to email you the Skin Vera app, the Louis Cady report, and then the invite for the 9th of April. Okay.
brilliant.
Can I help you with anything? Anything else I can help you with today?
No, no, I think that's it. I just wanted to sort of get a clarification. I'm just trying to explore all realms at the moment.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
how's your job hunting going?
still going. I had an interview yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, I
Yeah,
think that, I always say to people, listen, if you're looking for work, don't stop looking for work. But in the meantime, if you've got time on your hands, let's just
yeah,
make a bit of money in the meantime, even if it's
yeah.
only £10 here, £20 there, £30 there, it's worth it, right?
Worth it. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that it doesn't have to be complicated. We're not
Mm.
immediately going to start working necessarily with all the people around Manchester. We do things really in micro bite-sized chunks.
Yeah,
Test the technology, try at least one product. It's not going to cost hardly anything. And then from then on, we just start to build very gradually, connect with the people who are also locally who are interested, come to an event. It just kind of grows organically. We're not going to go into all bells and
yeah,
whistles and full steam ahead. Okay.
yeah,
But if you do have time, then in the meantime, why not make some money?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And even when you get your high flying medical wonderful
Yeah.
job, still gonna have a couple of hours a week to, yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay, Hunt. Right. Well, listen, I'll pop that over in
Thank
an
you.
email and yeah, just let me know your thoughts. We can, follow me up to either tomorrow or the day after, and we'll
I
take it.
will. I will. Thank you so much. I appreciate
You're
your time.
welcome. Okay, then take
Um,
good care and have a good rest of the day. Enjoy
You
the sun.
too.
All right
You
then.
too, Bridget.
Bye.
Thank you.